Oh my god, a new movie from a franchise I like is coming out. I better watch the previous movie to give myself a refresher. Spectre. Yeah. Uh, just the starting credit sequence with the song, Sam Smith. I don't know anything about him. The song's fine. But I knew just going through the credits that I might have a problem with this. Funnily enough, it's directed by Sam Mendes. I love 1917. It's an amazing movie. But he did the previous Bond film, Skyfall, which ended up being like one of the most successful Bond movies of all time. So, no brainer. Call Sam Mendes up. Can we do the next one? Well, unfortunately for me, that's not good because I gave that a 6 out of 10. I thought it was boring. And so he's teaming up with pretty much similar writers, Neil Purvis, Robert Wade, and they've got other writers with them, John Logan and Jez Butterworth. Awesome, just what we need. More writers, more chefs to the kitchen. You know, Ian Fleming wrote the books by himself, right? Like, why do you need fucking 500 writers of this movie? And it's the same guys who've been writing the last few Bond movies. That's fine. But they also wrote Skyfall, a movie I wasn't a fan of. Yes, I know. I didn't like Skyfall. I'm one of those. Casino Royale, mwah, love it. Quantum of Solace, better than you remember it being. Have give it another shot. Skyfall, nowhere near as good as I remember it being. In this movie, well, if I found the previous movie boring, guess what? This movie is even more boring. This movie is over 2 hours. It's around 2.5 hours. Why? You could cut at least 40 or 45 minutes out of the start. God, the start is so slow moving and poorly paced. I was getting bored. If I wasn't doing something that was novel, like I watched this movie with my sister and my wife in the same room, like because lockdown is over and we're allowed to have people over to watch things. So the three of us in the same room watching a movie again together was just like a wonderful novelty. And if it wasn't for watching the movie with them, I'd have hated this experience. This movie is boring and awful. And I'm going to spoil the shit out in some areas that just get, like, we got Daniel Craig here, Christoph Waltz, Leia Seydoux, and then Dave Bautista, Monica Bellucci, Ray Fiennes. Look, the movie's well shot. It looks good. It's a good looking film. I don't care how good your film looks if I'm not excited by it. Can I just say, like, the idea of having Christoph Waltz play a bad guy in a Bond film is an inspired choice. Like, he was great as this Nazi evil dude in Inglourious Bastards. In this movie, he's the most unintimidating, loserish loser villain. I'm just like, you're supposed to be the equivalent, like, Christoph Waltz is pretty much Solomon Lane from Mission Impossible, the last two, Rogue Nation and Fallout. Just lamer. A lot lamer. He's supposed to be this big bad villain and I just didn't buy it. He's not intimidating or scary at all. It's like when you find out, like the big reveal, you find out your villain is about as intimidating as an accountant. Like, who cares? I did not like him at all. Like, Q finds out so much information. I gave one of the Fast and the Furious movies a lot of shit when The Rock and his guys are trying to find where Toretto and all his gang are. And the gang's all wearing fucking balaclavas and they're going on a drive-in formation. The Rock's like, zoom in on their eyes, retinal scan. This is Dominic Toretto and the group, and here's all the information and stuff. I'm like, whoa, that was fast. Well, guess what? Q gets a ring. Sorry, spoilers, yes, I know. Q gets a ring that has the Spectre symbol on it, puts it on a scanner, and gets so much information out of that ring. DNA from the main bad guy, links to all these previous murders and things, and all this kind of convoluted stuff just from a ring put on a scanner. And I'm just like, that is stupid. And you have to kind of put it in here in this big, lumpy, stupid exposition scene because you wasted the first half an hour just plodding along, not knowing what you wanted to do. There's a subplot that runs throughout this whole movie of, oh, the 007 project is really shit. We've got to get rid of it. And this guy, they nickname him C. Oh yeah, wonder why. What C stands for? He's like, no, we're gonna do it this way instead of using double O's and stuff. And I'm just like, you're a spy organization with different tools. Why can't you have both? You use the surveillance stuff for when you need to do surveillancey things. Duh. And then when you need someone to go fucking take this motherfucker out, then you send in a double O. Why can't you have both? Like the taco girl says. What are you doing? That subplot is stupid. And so predictable. Another major problem I have with this is the Bond girl in this, or the major Bond girl. Monica Bellucci is awesome and is only in like one scene. Damn. Would have loved it if she was actual Bond girl throughout the whole entire movie. She was fantastic. Instead we get this French actress, Léa Seydoux. Maybe she's better in other movies, but I thought she was so boring in this movie, in Spectre. I'm like, what, Bond's falling in love with this woman? Really? She's got like she's got like about as much charisma as Diana Rigg has in her fucking pinky finger. She was awful in this movie. No good. Definitely not a memorable Bond girl. And it's because like she sets up this whole big kind of romantic subplot. I know that's a common thing for Bond movies, but if you've seen the trailer for the next one, you know it's going to continue. And you're just like, really? Her? Okay. What do I know? I'm not Bond. Man. In this plot, it's really stupid, lame subplot with C, followed by Bond just going on this kind of hunt off the books to find Christoph Waltz, who's barely in the movie. Dave Bautista's in it for a few different scenes, just as an action dude who's dispatched pretty easily. Try and recreate a cool fight scene in a train, but it's not as good as the one from Russia with Love. I don't know, man. Look, I don't think you need a new director. Sam Mendes is a really good director. You know what I think? You need new writers. Not old writers mixed in with newer guys take a look at the script. Get completely new writers. Completely new, never written a Bond movie, but massive Bond fan, something. You need someone different to write the next movies, man. And from what I know, we've got Fleabag writing the next one, which is awesome. I'm looking forward to the next one. No Time to Die, but I have to admit I'm looking forward to it a little less now that I've seen and rewatched kind of Spectre. It's not a good Bond movie. It's 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. Dude, it should have been at least an hour and a half, if that. If that. I'm giving this a 4. I'm sorry, this movie did all the things I didn't like the previous one from doing, but worse. Like, how do you get worse? And this is the second most, this movie did the second best out of all the Bond movies. I think Skyfall did the best out of all the Bond movies ever at the box office. That's great. If people keep watching these movies, they'll keep making them. Awesome. But I want them to make them good. This gets a 4. Might be one of the worst Bond movies I've reviewed. Yeah, I just was not into it. Guess I expected more. Just convoluted crap. Slow moving convoluted crap. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore.